On everybody, it is James. It is Sunday for me right now. I'm dressed down. Don't mind me, but I wanted to get in and get you guys another video done. So today we are going to talk about subs, the difference of subs, and how to pick the right sub for your situation. So a lot of this is going to be my opinion, a little bit of fact, but some of it's my opinion, and I'll try to decipher between the two. But in a nutshell, a lot of people come into my store and they want bigger subs because they want more power or something. They just want a small sub because they want less power. And that's not always the case, right? So the first thing is, well, I'm going to flip this around. Right? So we got an array of subs here, and you can see, this sub here, I believe is about 300 RMS. And this one here is about 250 RMS. So these, they're pretty equal. They look equal. But this guy here, right, he's actually not much bigger than these. It's actually smaller than this one. I flipped them around so you can see. But you can see it's clearly a lot smaller, right? We'll go back to how we were. And this guy here, which is clearly a lot smaller, can handle about 3 times the power. I'd have to go back and check. I believe it's 750 RMS watts in this guy and 300 in this guy. So 3, 6, 9. So you're talking 2.5 times more power in this little guy than this guy. And then we got this monster here that is 1500 watts. That's just a big boy sub. So with all that said, you can see that the size of the sub doesn't make a difference of how much power it handles or anything like that. So the first thing I dictate my systems on are, what exactly are you looking for? Are you looking for sound quality? You want the sub to reproduce nice? Or are you looking for the sub to be loud? Or are you looking for a combination, right? And everyone's going to say they're looking for a combination, but you got to really dig deep. What are you really looking for? Do you want it loud? Do you want sound quality? And that's really going to dictate where you go. So once I've decided what kind of direction I want to go in, and I know what I'm really looking for, SPL or SQ, and let me flip this around again. I'll give you a quick example. I don't have the best examples here, but I got good. So if you look at these subs and you look at it from a side point of view, you see this one here has a really big surround, right? You look at this one, has a really big surround. And then you look at these guys and they're not as big, right? So these aren't gonna be as good for SPL, sound pressure level. And just so everyone's aware, SPL is sound pressure. It's how loud it can get. And SQ is sound quality. Now these subs can get loud. When tuned properly, they get loud. Same with these. But obviously these subs can get louder. They have a bigger sub. They have a higher excursion. This can come out more. That's what excursion is. So the sub can come out more than these can, creating more air pressure. In turn, when you create more air pressure, it creates the feeling of being louder. So now you've dictated sound quality versus SPL, and there you're going to look at the trunk space that you have and what you can fit. So if you have a truck with under the seat sub boxes, you're obviously going to be very limited. If you have a car or an SUV, it's 2 different animals. So a lot of people come into my store and they want to put 4 subs in the back of that car or whatever the case is. But really what you want to do first is figure out your space you have to work with, figure out a box size, and then find the subs to fit the box. Because subs in the proper box are going to thrive better than subs not in the proper box. So if you stuff 4 subs into a box that's designed to have 2, the subs are going to fight each other. They're not going to thrive. They're not going to be as loud as you think they are, even though there's more. So if you reduce it to 2 and you let those subs work in their ideal environment and do the best they can, now you're going to have more SPL. And I've actually proven that with a customer before, where I actually reduced his base by eliminating a sub. I reduced his total power output. He went from about 1,000 watts to 700, if I remember correctly. And his system got louder quite a bit by going from 3 subs and 1,000 watts to 2 subs and 700 watts in the right conditions. The last thing I want to decide upon, assuming I've decided which direction I want to go with the subs, figured out how much airspace I have, and sometimes once you figure out your airspace, you're very limited. So if you got a truck, so my truck, my ideal sub was an 8-inch sub, and I didn't want an 8-inch sub, I wanted a 12-inch sub, but I did the 8 in the right box, and man, this thing's loud. So follow the laws and do it the right way is going to work out better than sometimes what your mind thinks. So you figured out SPL, SQ, you found the box that you can use and the airspace you have to work with. Then you want to figure out the size of the sub you want. And sometimes, again, you're limited, like an 8-inch or whatever. But if you don't have limitations, I would gear it towards the music you listen to the most. And everyone's going to say, oh, I listen to everything. But let's go with the first song you would listen to on your system is the music you're going to listen to the most. So if it's a Little John song, you're going to listen to rap and hip hop. And you're going to want to get those subs that hit those lower notes, like a 12, and go with something like that. Or if you're listening to, heavy metal or rock, you're going to want something smaller, like an 8 or a 10, to hit those quick, punchy bass drum notes. So that's how I would personally gear it. And that's kind of my opinion right there. The rest is pretty much factual, but the last part there is my opinion. So I'm going to recap, and that's kind of it for this video here. Let me just check my list. That's really it. Short, sweet video today, nothing crazy. But you're going to decide what kind of sub you want, SPL or SQ, and go from there. Then you're going to decide what size box can fit in the space that you have available. And then you go from there to pick the subs that fit the box properly in the airspace. And then you pick the sub based on size. The last thing is sometimes because of the box constraints, you do have to pick a shallow sub or a regular sub. But that's a little different. This video is more about the type of sub you want to pick, because you can do a 12 shallow that handles roughly the same watts as a 12 deep. So quick video. You guys have any questions, hit me up, add in the comments, whatever it is, and I'll try to throw it out there. Otherwise, enjoy the rest of your day and stay tuned for our next video tomorrow.